Welcome to AI Book Highlights.
Great to be here.
Today we're looking into Becoming Bulletproof by Evy Poumpouras. She's a former Secret Service agent, which is quite a background.
It really is, and she brings all that experience about handling, really high-pressure situations into this book.
Yeah, she shares strategies for building, well, mental and emotional resilience, stuff forged in some pretty intense environments.
Exactly. It's not just theory. Her time protecting presidents, dealing with threats, it demanded serious inner strength.
So today we'll pull out some key highlights, five main ones.
And then we'll distill those down into, say, 3 practical takeaways,
Yeah.
things you can actually use.
Things you can apply whether you're facing like daily stresses or bigger challenges, getting that bulletproof mindset she talks about.
Okay, let's get started.
All right, first highlight. Understanding your fear response. Fight, flight, or freeze.
Right, and she tells this really gripping story about an intruder in her family home when she was younger.
Yeah, it illustrates it perfectly. Her reaction was immediate fight.
While her mother, initially, her reaction was flight, trying to get away.
And then freeze. Just stuck.
And Poumpouras really hammers home how important it is to know your usual response.
Yeah.
Like, what's your default setting when things get intense?
Do you tend to confront things head on?
Or do you maybe try to avoid conflict or just shut down?
Knowing that is the first step, she argues, to managing difficult situations better. It's fundamental to becoming, well, bulletproof.
Absolutely. Because once you're aware, you can start to consciously choose rather than just react instinctively. Her own family showed how different those instincts can be.
It's not like you're stuck with one response forever.
No, exactly. Awareness gives you options. You can train yourself to react more effectively, whether it's, a genuine threat or just a tough conversation at work.
Which leads nicely into the second highlight, building mental armor.
Yeah, this is a really interesting concept. Think of it like a shield.
A shield against negativity, toxicity from the outside world.
Pretty much. She uses this analogy like bubble wrap around fragile china. Good wrapping, strong protection. The china's safe. But if the protection's poor.
It's vulnerable. It breaks easily. Makes sense.
And her work, in law enforcement, she says it exposed her to the worst of humanity sometimes. So developing this kind of impermeability wasn't just nice to have, it was necessary.
A survival tool, really.
And the benefit, it fosters resilience, makes you less afraid of failing or of rejection.
So things still might bother you, but they don't completely knock you down.
Exactly. You don't give other people the power to just, ruin your day or derail your goals. You control your inner state more.
Okay, highlight number 3 takes us outside ourselves. Situational awareness.
Right. And she introduces a specific framework here called the power of 3.
The power of 3, what are the components?
It's about recognizing when certain factors combine to increase potential vulnerability. The 3 Ps. People, place, and press.
So large numbers of people.
A densely packed place. Think stadiums, crowded venues.
And press, media presence.
Yeah, significant media attention often draws a wider, less predictable crowd, potentially including those with bad intentions. It just adds another layer of complexity and risk.
She uses that example of a huge WWE event, like 82,000 people.
Perfect storm, right?
Yeah.
Huge crowd, confined space, massive media spotlight, all 3 factors are there.
Now, she's not saying avoid these places entirely.
No, not at all. It's about being aware. Recognizing that when these 3 elements come together, your vulnerability might be higher, so your vigilance needs to go up too.
It's proactive, being more observant.
Just being more tuned in to your environment in those specific kinds of situations. It's a simple way to enhance personal safety.
Which logically connects to highlight number 4, get off the X.
Yes, a classic Secret Service tactic.
What exactly is the X?
The X is basically the danger zone, the target area, the spot where you're most vulnerable. The principle is simple. Don't stay there any longer than you absolutely have to.
Minimize your time in the line of fire, essentially.
Exactly. The longer you linger on the X, the more opportunity there is for something bad to happen.
And she smartly applies this beyond just physical danger zones.
Right. The X can also be, a toxic relationship.
Or a hostile work environment, a situation that's just consistently damaging.
Absolutely. Staying in those negative X's just keeps you exposed to harm, makes you a target for more negativity.
And getting out, removing yourself, that's strength.
That's what she argues, yes. It's not weakness to walk away from a harmful situation. It's smart. It's strategic.
Yeah.
It's about self-preservation and emotional control.
Staying too long just invites more trouble and makes it harder to leave eventually.
Precisely. Walking away intelligently is about controlling your emotions and making a tactical decision for your own well-being.
Okay, our final highlight, number 5, covers some really practical problem-solving tools, the third-person solution and disruptors.
Yeah, these are quite clever mental techniques. Let's start with the third-person solution.
How does that work?
Well, when you're really stuck on a personal problem, feeling overwhelmed,
Yeah.
you mentally project it onto someone else.
Like, imagine a friend or family member was facing this exact same dilemma.
Exactly. Then ask yourself, what advice would you give them?
Ah, so it creates distance. Takes your own intense emotions out of the immediate picture.
Right. That distance often brings clarity. You can see things more objectively, more rationally, without being tangled up in your own feelings about it.
Solutions might pop up that you just couldn't see when you were right in the thick of it.
It's a way to access your own wisdom, just from a slightly different angle.
Mm-hmm.
Then there are disruptors.
Okay, what are those for?
Disruptors are techniques to, well, disrupt negative thought cycles. When you're upset and just spinning your wheels, ruminating,
Stuck in a loop.
yeah. A disruptor is something you actively do to break that pattern.
She gives the example of using time as a disruptor, right?
Yes, like setting an expiration date on how long you'll allow yourself to really dwell on something painful or frustrating.
So you might say, okay, I'm going to feel bad about this for an hour, or maybe until tomorrow morning, but then I have to shift gears.
Exactly. Could be an hour, could be a week, depending on the situation. The point is making a conscious choice to limit the negativity's hold on you. It puts you back in control.
Instead of just being carried away by the negative thoughts, you introduce an interruption.
It helps shift you from feeling powerless back to feeling powerful in how you handle your own mind.
Okay, wow. So from understanding fear to these problem-solving tricks. Quite a range.
Definitely a solid toolkit. So let's try and boil this down into those 3 main actionable takeaways for everyone listening.
Good idea. Takeaway number 1, figure out your F3 pattern, your fight, flight, or freeze response.
Yeah, really think back. When things get stressful, what's your gut reaction?
Once you know it, you can start practicing a more conscious response. Don't just default. Pause. Choose.
Even that tiny pause can make a huge difference in how you navigate a challenging moment. Gain that bit of control.
Takeaway number 2, start building your mental shield, your mental armor.
Right. Actively start filtering negativity. Visualize that protective barrier if that helps.
When criticism or difficult stuff comes your way, make a conscious choice. I'm not letting this penetrate deeply. I'm not internalizing this.
Focus on what you can control, your reactions, your mindset. Build that inner resilience day by day.
And takeaway number 3, enhance your situational awareness, especially using that power of 3 idea.
In those crowded places or events with lots of media buzz, just consciously scan your surroundings more.
Notice exits, pay a bit more attention to what's going on around you, any unusual behavior.
It's not about being paranoid or living in fear, not at all. It's just about being proactively observant. A little awareness goes a long way for personal safety and feeling prepared.
So those are 3 solid steps you can start taking today based on Poumpouras' insights.
We really hope this exploration of becoming bulletproof has given you some valuable ideas and practical strategies.
Yeah, ways to boost your own resilience. Her perspective, coming from where she came from, is pretty unique.
It offers a compelling look at navigating fear and building that real inner strength.
And if these highlights caught your interest and you want the full picture, all the details and stories,
Then we definitely recommend getting the book, Becoming Bulletproof.
absolutely. We've put a link to it right there in the description below for you.
Thank you so much for joining us on AI Book Highlights.
We look forward to bringing you more insights from interesting books in our next session.